of Nigeria in Nigeria. On the Vanguard newspaper, so let's headlines here as saying, don't put Nigeria at Greek diaspora Nigeria baby to invade Niger. Yes, Niger coup is also not Nigeria's resident Dr. Land national test. Now this is just coming in on the Vanguard newspaper. We had earlier to that UPTH resident doctors are to embark on their protest today, limited to the premises of the hospital. But whether this applies to the protest in UPTH, we would have to verify from the NARD chairman here in the president here at the UPTH. But this headline on the Vanguard says resident doctors cancel planned national protests. Okay, electricity. Prepaid meters installation rises 3.9% to 171,107. All right, let's see how well that is working. Those are a few of the headlines you would see on the Vanguard newspaper. The WhatsApp number, of course, is 0809 030 6416. This one here says $1.9 billion arms imported into Africa annually, says NATCOM. Wow, that's quite a lot of money. Another one here says 120 billion naira debt, banks offer telcos repayment plan. Labour rejects Gbajabiamila on subsidy negotiations, writes National Assembly. Niger, ECOWAS plans fresh sanctions on Burkina Faso, Mali, UN talks fail. There's a few of the countries where we have military rule at the moment in Africa. Niger, one of them. Burkina Faso and Mali. Quite interesting. Okay. So on WhatsApp, that's where we'll start from. We'll take some of your comments there now, and this one quite interesting. It says here, okay, Lawan from Uzuzu, it says resident doctors start protest, good one, but let it be peaceful. Well, I think largely would be peaceful if it's happening just within the premises of the hospital. Okay, we have E down the line, Lugard and God's Time. We'll be coming to those guys shortly. Let's just take two more messages. In your news, some critics say the Senate president was summoned to the president villa in respect to Kiamo's case. For me, we need to expect more because this is just beginning. Well, the Senate president, of course, would not come out and say why, if he was going there because of what happened with the screening of Kiamo. We can't tell. But then the fact that he went there immediately after the screening is enough reason for people to begin to add 1 + 1 together and read meanings to his visit. It could be for something else, that's all I'm saying. So whether it's going to come out and tell us what it was meant for, only time will tell. But you wouldn't blame anyone who chooses to look at the situation and say this is why you visited, because the timing is just, suspicious. Reactions over Senate President's visit to Tinubu over Senate rejection to screen Kiamo. The big drama will soon start when allocation of the ministerial portfolios will commence. A lot of square pipes will be seen occupying round holes. The biggest of all drama is coming soon. Ihema to Charles. Let's go to Ida in Koro quickly now. Ida, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
All right, straight to the point.
I want to talk about the police issue. I'm dealing with the police spokeswoman. So please mention that particular thing, their names, and show these people on television, because people in Koro, they are peace-loving people. I said this yesterday that in your radio station, you've never heard that the people in Koro is fighting, that we went about doing all sorts of things, or we are armed robbers. You've never heard it in your station. So they should please mention a particular person's name and bring that person to justice. We need justice in this matter. We will not rest the person. And the ring road matter, Governor Simple, the golden governor of Rivers State, will compensate everybody according to your building. So that Port will be very good for people.
All right, Ida. Thank you very much. All right. Before I go to Lugard, I think I need to clarify something for that building so we don't get it wrong. If you are staying in a building that the government demolished, the government is not paying you. Let's understand this. There are certain ways these things work. So you have to go and read the acts and understand how this property ownership and land level, how it works. You have to get, in fact, I would advise anybody now, go get yourself a real estate agent or a surveyor to properly evaluate, a estate surveyor or evaluator or whatever they call them, to evaluate your building. Have your own. if you have land there that they are going to I think we had a conversation some time ago when there was a demolition for one of the flyovers. Was it the Rumokuta flyover, if I'm not mistaken? I had to take the pains of having somebody, and we here at Nigeria Info had a serious conversation about that, just to try to educate people and enlighten them. So you do not think that because you're staying in a house and then government demolished the house, then the tenant, you say government did not pay you, they scattered your shop, they did not pay you. They would only pay the person that owns the property or the person that owns the land, and it is the value on that land. And now the worst thing is the laws that guide how these payments are made have not been amended. So the square feet, I think, okay, I can't remember the details of this. The square feet and etc. that are used to determine how much is paid and how they pay has not been amended to the recent economy. So that's why when you hear people say, well, in my eyes, your house is worth 50 million, but then you are getting this amount, it's because of the laws that they are using to do that calculation and pay you that money. So you need to get your own self a valuer, estate valuer, that would, properly evaluate the cost of your land, so you have your document and you know how you can pursue this matter. Just had to let that come out first. If they have paid your landlord as a tenant, it is your landlord that will pay you. Understand it too. Lugard is in a chair. Let's go to Onelga. God's time. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Andrew.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala pays a visit to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has proven to be a financial expert, not just in Nigeria but across the world. I think the visit should be able to take away some burdens from the president, most especially with her advice, telling the president on the possible ways to go and how we can manipulate Nigeria out of this economic crunch. And secondly, the police issue with Mr. Peter side. I think the police should come up with a comprehensive investigation and bring up the perpetrator of that crime, so that at the end of the day, the child of that man, and most especially the son that narrated the story, will be able to see that the police carried out a holistic investigation and brought out the person who killed his father for future purpose, so that this boy wouldn't be against security officers. Thank you, and do have a smart day.
All right, Temple in Romomasi, good morning to you.
Good morning, the very distinguished evening, and right in this morning, sir.
Fantastic.
Yes, sir. I think I want to quickly appeal to the committees that are in charge of, this ring road project, visiting the landlord and the rest of them. Those of them that are in charge of the EIA, the impact assessment, also are also, visiting the AGAs and the communities themselves. I think there should be some level of equity and justice here. Those persons who are involved, who their properties are involved, should be, properly partnered with, in making sure that whatever that is due them, get to them. I don't think we should continue to play politics with everything. Please, I want to appeal to them so that the name of this government will continue. All we want is a good name. There is no need to segregate some set of persons because of we want to score some selfish political point. It is not good. Please, they should do it so that everybody that is due get whatever that is due to them at all costs. As simple as ABC. But the very situation I want to quickly say, if Mr. President meet with the labor leaders, we have for this is of a national interest. Nigerian people are involved here, but city representative all the time look at their complaint that the chief of staff does not even have time to meet with them. But the president has time to meet with other national issues. Our Nigerian issue is not important. That Mr. President, at least, even for what are there is not available to meet with them. If not a one-on-one talk, we have a green light. We will a green light to the labor leader.
Thank you. Point made. But the president has met with labor leaders before, if you remember, at the time that the protest started last week. The president met with labor leaders, had a conversation, made a promise to them with regards to when the refinery will be up and running, especially the Port Harcourt refinery. So he's met with them before. That said, Mufasa is from NTA Road. I think for the Mufasa, good morning. I think for the Hello, Mufasa. Just go on. We'll come to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Well, let me thank you for the brief explanation that you've given to Rivers people. That they need to who gets what, how and why, regarding the property valuing and all of that. I think for me, to be completely fair with the owners of the building, as a tenant, when issues like this comes up, you move with your property. The owner of property does not have that opportunity or leverage to move with his property. So when compensation comes, most times they don't even want to look at the faces of their tenants. But then again, we can begin to appeal to owners of property that if a tenant has moved into your house, some of them refurbish the house, spend money on the house, something like this comes up, you can just still use out of your own, conscience and see if you can, maybe give the tenants a thing or two. But on the part of the government, development has to come. And the development is coming. There are certain sacrifices that are meant to be made. But having said that, I want to appreciate the resident doctors for calling off that strike. I mean, people are passing through serious, pains and hardship this period. And for someone to go to the hospital expecting to be attended to by doctor and he said the doctors are on strike, it's really devastating. So as they have called off their strike, government should equally look at their agitations so that these issues of strike, should be put to a complete stop once and for all. That's my position this morning.
All right, Professor, thank you very much. Nice day. I think it's also fair that we mentioned that the surveyor contracted by the government to, value these buildings and other properties that will be demolished does a great job and doesn't cut corners. I mean, that would be the Nigerian syndrome. You already heard some of the landlords say what they are suspecting. They will tell us this. Meanwhile, they've given government a different price or from what happened. I think they need to be honest and hold their integrity to a very high level and make sure that a great job is done. Uche Ken in Uche, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Let me look at Labour begin talk with federal government yesterday, but reject Badagry Amila's subsidy removal palliative talk. I want to say, I don't know the tenses of talk, but all I care is the talk should be regards to what is bothering the Nigerian citizens. Out of the 5 agendas highlighted by Labour, one has been approved by the federal government, that is the refinery, even if we are yet to see it being functioned or being started. Then, instead of, I want to advise Labour this morning, instead of going there to be compromised or compromise with the federal government, they should rather look inward to see if there are other things bothering us, because this life is full of trouble. Instead of reducing from the agendas that made them or warranted the protest, they should please look inward. There are a lot of things. The high cost of commodity is not only refinery, it's not only subsidy removal that is our problem. Then resident doctors at UPTH begin strike today. I hope there is a conflicting news this morning. One of the papers said they have resolved. Another one said they will resume again. So I am confused. Notwithstanding, if they are embarking on protest today, it should be peaceful. And federal government should also look inward, because these people are those that cares about us. They left all we are supposed to do and ensuring that we the citizens breathe very well. They should do something about it.
All right, Uche Ken, thank you very much. Let's go to good news in mouth 3. Hello, good news. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother man.
Right, go ahead.
Thank you. Quick one. Let me talk about the property owners complaint. I think that all these words have been demolishing other areas. People have been complaining heavily about the house they give to them. If you say everybody should go and get valuers, how many valuers will they get at a time? I think if people have been paid by the government to do a job, they should be able to do that job diligently and to give the government a good name, not trying to say how to put out something for themselves. Look at the time of Amechi when the demolition are done in some areas. Some persons they demolish their houses. One second, the money given to them was used to buy property somewhere else, buy land and build houses for themselves. But in this time of this government, nothing is happening like that. And let me tell you, is it not the same calculating processes which we are talking about they use under Amechi as still using under Wike? So I think that if the government has a mind to develop Rivers State, not for their own personal
sorry, not Governor, it's not former Governor Wike, it's we have Fubara.
Sorry, former Governor Wike and the same thing now.
They're not the same. Thank you. Good news. They're not the same. So please, you try to speak civil and be politically correct with your comments. All right. Former Governor Wike, who we have now is Governor Sim Fubara. So please recognize that. Susie is in Erema. Good morning. Hello, Susie.
Hello. Good morning.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is certain that Rivers State government actually have the interest to develop Rivers State, whether it is him or it is another person, now later or after. So the interest of a government is to develop the people as enshrined in the social contract theory. So it is not anything like Mufasa said. The issue here is that every tenant or landlord within the area where it is going to be affected will be paid. And it's a candid advice as provided by you for people to, even if you cannot hire state valuer, people could also collaborate. Suppose it's something that has to do with people going to court. Shouldn't anybody or individuals or collaborators, like a lawyer that will represent them, would you allow your people to be taken? But I believe that the standard has been set based on this for the government to also direct those that is going to be affected. The issue of ECOWAS. In 2021, the ECOWAS community actually added a supplementary protocol on the issue concerning democracy and good governance in West Africa. So for anybody to truncate that, and just like what has happened in Niger, it's actually on our front, on the African Charter, Article 58 of the African Charter, or what it's supposed to be. Don't forget that Niger is actually an agricultural hub for West Africa, mostly Nigeria. And Nigeria also has a way of the tie concerning Niger and Nigeria is one thing that has to do with the fact that the economic value of Niger and in their market is actually residing in Nigeria. So if Nigeria is actually being given priority as the leader of ECOWAS, nobody should take it out of this to think that it is actually the Tinubu's kind of priority to undo Niger Republic. Niger Republic, what is happening there today, will affect us, whether ECOWAS attend to it or not.
All right, thank you very much. Susie, point made. Let's go to
from in 1977.
Taria in Buguma. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead, Taria.
All right, I want to commend the president for inaugurating the Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee, included a year 4 student of economics of the prestigious University of Ibadan. I think giving opportunity to young people is a very good one. I must say, let this committee work hard, strategize, put all indices together, and bring us out of this hyperinflation, what the foreign exchange, the challenges we are going through economically. We are really, if you hear me, the people are suffering. Any policy they can come up so that to alleviate the people from the suffering, and I will be very, very grateful. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right, Taria, thank you very much. On Twitter, on X, I beg your pardon. It's going to take a lot of getting used to. On X, Emilka Monday says construction of Port Harcourt Ring Road should have passed through virgin routes and not already built up areas. Now, the response to this, I think only the Commissioner for Works would give us this detail. We'll do. I won't say we promise, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get more into this and understand why, if it's going through these communities, why it's going through this part of the communities and not the other, maybe, undeveloped areas of those communities. At Son of Light says, the way Nostra and NNPC Limited is handling their oil spill is not good. It shows they don't value human lives. At Super Light says, traditional rulers should caution their people the way they confront military. How can you kill a soldier and expect peace? At Ike Desson says, ECOWAS reacting. Well, On Facebook, Thank God Ability says these bar and go senators are not helping matters. Akpabio rushing to Aso Rock to meet with the president over Festus Keyamo ministerial screenings and abuse of separation of power. We do not know if he went there because of Keyamo's ministerial screening, whatever that happened. We don't know. And we saw Keyamo came back to apologize to the House and all of that, and they seem to have accepted his apology, etc., etc. Yes, the timing looks like that could be the reason. It's okay to suspect if that is the reason, but to then say authoritatively that it's the reason, well, I would not advise to do that, because nothing has been said by both the president and Akpabio. Labour should shut down this country until our refineries are fixed. Wanyanwu Obioma Noble, you sent that message in on WhatsApp. This one says, Andrew, the construction of Port Harcourt Ring Road project should have passed through. Okay, I think we took that on Twitter already. Good morning. I think we already took this one too before. The high increase insecurity in the state is fast becoming unbearable. Police should re-strategize to stop all of these insecurities. Christian Williams from Igbo Chie. Another one on WhatsApp says the appointment of 400 level students by President Tinubu is a good development. Fidelis Elemoa from Chokocho sent that one in. All right, good morning to you. Let's go for this commercial. We'll be back.
The show continues after this break. Nigeria Info.